All right, welcome to the next lesson. This one is making a deal. So you've been shopping multiple dealers, comparing quotes, grading quotes, and you found the right quote for you. It's in your price range. It has a good percentage of MSRP, and you're ready to move forward. And this is your next car. So you're going to be accepting an offer. And now it's okay to actually pick up the phone and talk to the salesperson because they're just going to be facilitating your paperwork. You're already sold. There's nothing to avoid anymore. So totally fine at this point throughout these next few steps to pick up the phone. And at this point as well, you can now accept or add in a trade-in offer. So, like we talked about before, you have quotes and offers from other dealers to sell the car to see how much they offer compared to what the dealer you're going to get the car is going to offer you for trade value. And you can use those other offers to ask this dealer if they can increase their trade offer to match what you could get somewhere else. And then you have a choice. If they can't match it, do you want to split the process, sell your car somewhere else, and get your new car here? It's really up to you. You can always maximize the amount you get by leveraging multiple dealers. So just make sure you have other offers to compare. But this will be the time now when you add in your trade if you're going to do so. And obviously that'll lower the payment. And then as well, don't be aware you can split your trade in. So let's just say you have $4,000 of equity that you can apply as a trade and you want to split it. You want to put $2,000 down on the car and get a $2,000 check from the dealer. If you want to do something like that, ask them about it. You can split it if you want to. And then also too, if you had cash to put down and you want to add your cash down payment in now too, this is the time to do it. And then as well as if you want to increase the mileage, if you're going to be a higher mileage driver and now you want to see what the quota look like with 15,000 miles or 18,000 miles per year, or even 20,000 or however many you need, this is when you want to tell them to adjust the quote accordingly for that. Next will be a credit application. You're going to have your credit run by the dealership, by the finance company through the dealership and get approved for this lease. So they run your credit just like you're buying a car, getting a loan. It's the same type of credit application. So you can do all that from home. They can email you over the credit application, do DocuSign, and get you approved without ever having to go into the dealership. So at this point, you'll be doing that step with them. And sometimes if they're wanting to hold a car for you, make sure that you're not going to back out, or they might ask for a deposit so that way they don't sell to somebody else. It's totally okay to do a deposit at this point. As long as you get it in writing that it'll be fully refunded if the contract is not executed for any reason. So if the deal falls through, if you don't get approved by the finance company, you get your deposit back. Make sure you get that in writing. And then also it should say that they'll take the first payment out. So if the deposit is more than the actual first payment, which is what's due at signing, then they'll take that out of the deposit and give you the difference back. So make sure that's in writing as well. And it's also a time when you can do any add-ins that you want to add to your payment. Now, I'm not a big fan of add-ins. I try to get my leases with nothing at all added in, but hey, it is an option. Sometimes dealers sneak these things in, so you want to be in control of it. If you're going to add something in, you want to know what it is and why you're buying it. So let's talk about it. So mostly these are service and maintenance agreements. Now, one thing I want you to remember is the vehicle comes with a factory bumper-to-bumper warranty and a powertrain warranty from the manufacturer. So if anything goes wrong with the car, you get that fixed for free at the dealership. But what we're talking about is oil changes, tire rotations, the normal maintenance. And the rule of thumb on this is how much does a normal service and maintenance cost for your chosen vehicle? If you have a regular car that just needs oil changes every so often, tire rotations every so often, how much does that really cost? And how much is this package the dealer is offering you? And is it a discount, right? You could probably just go to the oil change place closer to your house, get the oil changes done, the tire rotations, the normal service done, pay out of pocket, and not have to pay the dealership anything added to your payment. Now, if you have an expensive car, a luxury car, and they're offering you a discount on service and it's, expensive oil changes, you can get it done cheaper at the dealer, then maybe you want to add it in. But me personally, I don't add any of these type of things in. And also a big factor for me is I don't want to drive back to the dealership. If this dealership is 40, 50 miles from my house, I'm not going to go there to get my oil changed. I'm going to go to the place that's, down the street from my house. So you want to just know if you need that or not. So it's up to you if you want to do it. And then they might offer you things like rim and tire protection plans. Another thing for me, it's a no-go. Really, does the car you're leasing have 20-inch rims with little tiny low-profile tires? If it's a regular car with thick tires, this isn't really necessary in my opinion. Totally up to you. And then wear and tear covers. And they'll often offer like additionals like insurance on like wear and tear. And a lot of times people don't realize their lease already comes with a wear and tear allowance from the leasing company that you don't have to pay anything extra for. Look at the contract. We're going to review that in the next lesson, but you might already have a wear and tear policy or allowance that comes with the lease. So do you really need to buy extra? Totally up to you. I personally don't. And then finally, an important thing is, does a lease come with gap insurance? Most of them will, because since the car is the property of the leasing company, they protect themselves with gap. So you don't have to pay extra for gap in most cases, because if it is totaled, then they apply their own gap policy to it to cover a shortage if the insurance doesn't pay off the payoff amount. That's what gap is for. So, most leases come with gap. You want to confirm that this one does as well. And if it doesn't come with gap, and you probably want to get that, you can ask the dealer to add it into the payment or give you a quote for what they have to offer. Then also just check with your own insurance company and see what you can get it for yourself. And, obviously if you can get it cheaper yourself, do that. So add-ins are just something to consider. I'm not a big fan. It's up to you if you want them. Just be aware of what they are and, choose accordingly. So that's the end of this lesson. We're going to review actual contract in the next one. I'll see you there.